Hey, Merle Shank here with Ron Myer, and I just wanted to kind of pick his brain from way back when you guys planted a church. What was that like, Ron?
Well, it was quite a challenge. I'll tell you what, we were young. We were 32 years old, and we just were excited about people, excited about their lives, excited about working with people and seeing them grow in God, and just a really challenging experience, but a very rewarding experience for us. We were just full of faith and excitement.
That's awesome. So, how did you find people? You say you were working with people. Where did they come from? What was kind of the draw to
Yeah.
working with them?
Back in those days, people were so excited about the things of the Spirit. There weren't many Spirit-filled churches around.
Okay.
We started, in fact, I became a part of a small group which was the only one in Lebanon County, in our county. And then that group, we took over that group, gave leadership to the group a year into it. That group multiplied into two. Those two groups multiplied into four. And we just kept multiplying groups. And the key was, we could see God working in people's lives, and we just wanted to pour into people. I farmed by day and worked with people at night.
So you were a farmer by day, and you worked with people at night. So
Exactly.
what was that like for you then? Like, how did you know God was calling you into going from working with a couple small groups and into church planting and eventually launching the church? What was that like for you?
Hardest decision ever made in my life. My life dream was to farm from the time I was 6 years old until I sold the farm. My life dream was to farm. I thought I'd retire on my four-wheel drive tractor. By the time I was 28 years old, every dream I had as far as farming, I was living. I was living the dream.
Wow.
I used to drive down the road and come up to the farm and say, I can't believe this is mine. I can't believe the Lord actually blessed me with this. So as we started working with people and started seeing people grow and people were coming to the Lord and just growing in the kingdom, we got to that place where, again, we farm by day and work with people at night. I prayed, I said, Lord, give me the ability to farm from 6 in the morning till 6 at night, because after that there's other people that I can minister to.
Wow. So you gave up your life dream
Exactly.
in order to pursue a call of God in ministry.
Exactly.
That's incredible. And that's just awesome.
We planted the church and did the farming thing and the ministry thing for the first year, and then a number of close people around me said, Ron, you got to make a decision, my wife included. She said, you have to make a decision. You can't continue to do everything you're doing. So at that point in time, we prayed and really felt this is what the Lord had for us, and walked through the whole process. It was a process to walk through, but
I'm
we walked
sure.
through.
Yeah. So the farm was kind of your economic engine.
Absolutely.
Right. And a lot of church planners, when they start planting churches, from my experience and just talking with other people, is they, think about this idea of full-time ministry. Talk about kind of that first year for you when you had your financial engine in the farm and you were working with other people. How did you make that work? What were some of the things that you struggled with, and what were some things that you used to overcome that struggle?
I think, Merle, the biggest fear for me personally in planting a church, I know the biggest fear I had was, what will I preach Sunday after Sunday after Sunday?
Okay.
I remember going to the Lord saying, Lord, what am I going to preach every week? And I felt the Lord say this. He said, I'll always remember this. He said, don't I know my word better than anyone else? I said, well, absolutely. He said, well, then just listen to me and I'll tell you what to say. So that did not negate the fact I needed to study, I needed to prepare and all that kind of thing. But it released a fear that I had that I could not provide for people and what they needed. And again, I was young, so the people that were attracted were young, and we kind of grew together in our experience with God.
Wow, that's incredible. Just quickly here, as we get ready to kind of sign off on this video, give us 3 principles that you would say, man, if I was doing this again, I would stick to these principles.
Number 1 is I'm not doing it for myself. Everything we did from the time we started reaching out, it was others were more important than us. We were investing in other people. That's the first thing. The second thing I think, Mary, would be I had the ability to see the best in people, not look at their faults, so to speak, not look at their challenges, but look at what was God doing in their life. How could we capitalize on what God was doing and bring them to another level of experience? The third thing is not to do it alone. To build team around me. The reason we were able to do what we did is because of the tremendous team that we had around us, whether it's children's ministry workers or for the first 7 years, we set up, tore down every Sunday morning in a rented facility, and it was that team around us that really made it work.
Talk to me about that. Just I know we said we're ending, but what about building that team? How did you build that first team? How did you get people to kind of buy in to what you're doing? I mean, I'm sure you know people were already bought in to some extent, but how did you formalize a team? Because that's really the next step. Like when people start planning a church, is getting a team involved. And how did that go for you?
I think the key dynamic in that whole thing is to let people know how important they are. So if as I pour into them and let them know that they're important, it's not for what they can offer me, it's how can I invest in them to see them become who God has called them to be. And in doing so, they rise to the occasion because they're excited about what God is doing among us. So they're invested in me, investing in them.
That's awesome.
I think that's the best way I could say it.
Investing in you, investing in them.
Yeah.
That's incredible. All right. Hey, thank you so much, Ron. All right, stay tuned for more videos to come, more video interviews with some good principles laid out for church planning. God bless you. Have a great day.